Okay, so I got my Dell XPX 15 a couple of years ago. I'd say round out towards the end of 2010, late 2010, and I basically got it spec'd out at the time. It's the first generation XPX 15, so it's the L501X version. So it has 8 gigs of RAM, i7 processor. I think it's running at 1.73 gigahertz. A Blu-ray player / DVD. NVIDIA graphics card. I believe it's the 435M, and it has a 1080p screen. And basically, yeah, it's the top of the line. I can open it up right here. Backlit keyboard, everything, speakers, but I haven't really used it. I made a couple of videos about on the laptop when I first got it, but I really haven't used it that much at all. I originally bought it as a development machine, but I continued to use a T61, old T61 ThinkPad. That's my favorite laptop, and generally that laptop does everything I need. But now I'm starting to get into video processing and more intense development work, so I kind of need to move up, start using this machine. But the only thing is, I've started having problems with it. I've sent it to get repaired a couple of times. The first time was an obvious fix. I broke the screen on it, so the screen was replaced. Then I started experiencing random shutdowns. And so when I was doing intensive stuff like screencast or using the webcam or just doing a whole lot of stuff at once, basically when the processor and the graphics card were under stress. So that stopped me from using it for a while. I sent it in a couple of times, and both times it got sent back to me saying that nothing was wrong. And so I was prepared to disassemble the laptop myself and see what was wrong with it. That's what I did for my T61. I actually rebuilt it, did a complete disassembly, cleaned the heatsink and applied new thermal paste and all of that. That's what I was going to do with this XPX Dell, but I decided to just get some compressed air and try spraying that in the port right here. See, you can see it right here in the port, the vent right here for the heat sink. And I don't think you can see it, but right here I neglected to look there, but it was kind of caked with dust. I blew all of that out. I probably could blow it out better if I disassemble it, but I don't know if I'm going to do that right now. But that solved my overheating issues, which was basically causing the shutdowns, because the graphics card would get to like 101 degrees and the CPU wasn't far behind. But now it's when I used to watch Netflix, I use Linux, so I use that Wine program to run Netflix, and when I would run that program and run Netflix under Wine, it would take it would start out around 70 degrees or something like that, and quickly get up to like 93 and hover around that. Now I'm getting the temperature hovers around 69, 70 degrees. If I plug up my external 24-inch monitor via the HDMI port, it'll get around 73 or something like that, which isn't too bad considering what it was before. And that was a big improvement in itself that allowed me to work longer on the machine, but it's still not quite as fast as I like. And originally I thought I was actually going to watch movies on this machine, you know, watch Blu-ray discs, and actually I rented one Blu-ray disc and watched it, and that was when within the first couple of months after I had bought the laptop, and I haven't watched any DVDs or anything or Blu-ray discs or anything on it since. So that's something I don't need. And when I ordered the laptop, I configured it with just the 640 gig standard hard drive instead of the SSD version, because I wanted the space at the time. But now I kind of want the performance more so than the space. So on a whim the other day, I ordered a few hard drives. I ordered a Kingston 120 gigabyte SSD now drive 300, and then just some basic SanDisk 64 gig solid state drive, and then a 500 gig I don't know who makes this. I forgot who makes this, but it's a HGST hard drive, and it's 7,200 RPMs, and it's 500 gigs. Now, my plan for the laptop is to, now that I've got it running consistently, is to install the Kingston 120 gig SSD now drive as my primary drive. So I'm going to replace the 640 gig drive with this one, the SSD now from Kingston. And where the Blu-ray DVD writer is here on the side, I'm gonna take that out and replace it with this 500 gig drive, so I have ample storage. And this is going to be later. I'm waiting for the drive caddy to come in so I can replace the Blu-ray disc with that drive caddy, and so I just won't have a disc drive in it anymore. Now, this just basic solid state drive from SanDisk, a 64 gig drive, I'm waiting for a external hard drive enclosure, eSATA enclosure actually. So, because it's an eSATA port right here on the side of this Dell, and I'm gonna plug it into there and kind of use that doing the video editing in combination with the main drive. But that's later. The first thing I'm going to do is install this Kingston drive. Now, I'm probably also going to, when I take out the 640 gig drive, I'm probably going to put the, I'm going to put that in a external hard drive enclosure also. It has one bad sector, but I can use it as a scratch disk or something, and that's also what motivated me to want to replace the disk. I don't like using a lot of disks with with bad sectors. It doesn't have a lot. It has one, but usually another one you know, will pop up at any time. So I'd just rather have a disk now that I'm going to start using it for development. Okay, I'm back. I just had to get something for my dog. So, without further ado, I think I'm going to go ahead and install this this solid state drive. And just 1 minute. Just went to get my printouts. I printed out a couple of pages for the manual, service manual for the XPS 15 from Dell. It's a short manual, like 59 pages. But according to these printouts, all I need to do to remove the hard drive is to remove the battery, the main system battery, and then pop up the face plate and remove the palm rest, and then the hard drive will be right there. And let me get a few more tools. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to need, but I got the directions. I got this metal pry tool, small screwdriver, a regular screwdriver for the screws, and also a wood toothpick, because the little, I think it's the CMOS battery or something's in there, and it's just a battery. Like in my ThinkPad, the CMOS battery is covered with like some plastic, so you can take it out with like a screwdriver or anything, and it won't short out the system or anything. But in this laptop, it's just in there, just the plain battery, and if you touch it with like a metal screwdriver, it could short it out. I think that's what the manual alluded to. So I have the toothpick for that, and I think I'm going to get started. So what I'm going to do is flip the laptop over, take out the battery. This is an aftermarket battery. My other battery ran just died, so got this one. Having some problems with my that caused some problems with my system, but I'll talk about that later. So got that out, the battery out, and the manual suggests that after you take the battery out, you just go in, push the power button for 30 seconds or so to kind of discharge any residual charge that is left in the system. I think that's good enough. Okay. Flip it back over so the battery is removed, and then it's like these two things here. See those two things, and see, I think it's 1 or 2 screws. It's a screw right here that I need to take out, and let me look at my directions to make sure. Okay, so it says remove the screw that secures the palm rest to the base cover. Push the palm rest release tabs. Okay, so it must be a screw on the other side, but let's go ahead and do this. So, oh, camera. Okay, there it is. It should be fine. I just hit it a bit. Let's see, can I? It's a little shaky there for a minute. Okay, that's okay. So, what I'm gonna do is scoop my chair over for one, and then just there's a screw right here. I might need my other screwdriver. This one might not work. This one's too small. So, let me get my other screwdriver. I'll put that there. Okay, so got my little changeable screwdriver. I think this one might work. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that one works well. Okay, so it's one screw. I usually label these, but I think I can remember them. So I'm just going to put that aside. Okay. And now I'm supposed to it's two tabs right here. I'm supposed to push them up. Okay. And kind of, I guess, yeah, like that, kind of down. I have to flip it over. Open the screen. And I think, yeah, I've got to work around here, I think, to get this out. Without, like, scratching it too bad, I hope. And, just work around the edges. Let's see. The last, before, well, I was going to say I don't usually buy Dells, but that's not true, because I had like I don't know what it was. It was maybe a 1330M. I want to say it was something like that. Can't quite remember. But it was a sleek little computer. I had an SSD drive in there. I did. And okay, that's good. It's coming loose. And it was fast. I don't remember if I had a NVIDIA or ATI card or just a regular graphics card, you know, like Intel graphics card in it. But it was, got to be careful not to rip anything here. this is my absolute first time taking this apart, so I have no idea. But that laptop, it was nice, and before that I had Alienware, and Alienware, the design of it kind of reminds me of this system. Okay, if you see there, we have these two cables right here, and I actually could remove those, but I don't really have to. I don't think I have to. Okay, there. I removed that with the toothpick. So that's it. But I don't really have to remove these. I probably can just, yeah, let it tilt back like this. And now take that drive out. It's right here. So I had an Alienware that reminded me a lot of this system. And I never used it that much. It overheated, and back then, that was years ago, like in maybe 2002, 2003, and I wasn't really taking my laptops apart back then. So it's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 that's holding this hard drive, and it's caddy in the caddy end, and it's some dust in here. I'm actually probably gonna spray a little spray in it, compressed air in it, and clean that out. And I'm gonna put these screws in a safe place so I don't misplace them. But so that laptop, it would overheat like way worse than this one did. I mean, like, I could just turn it on and it could just be on, not doing anything for quite a while. And it would just one moment. And, well, I was recording some external audio, but I forgot I recorded some other stuff, so that was audio cord is full. So hopefully the audio from one of these players I'm using will be okay. But anyway, it overheated way worse. That Alienware overheated way worse than this, because I think it's probably my fault, because I used to use it like when I was in the bed, on the couch. I used to block the vents and stuff, the air vents and everything. So probably my fault, but I couldn't do anything on it. So, and that was like a $3,500 machine at the time, which was non-trivial. So I actually, years later, maybe 6 years later, sold it on eBay, and it wasn't any false advertising or anything on my part. I clearly stated that, it shut down and it didn't really work right, and somebody bought it for like $600 or $700, almost $700. So I got rid of that one, and then I got a few ThinkPads. Those are my favorites, but this Dell right here was on sale at the time, and so I just got that one. So that's the hard drive and the hard drive caddy. Now it's some screws over here on both sides that's holding it in. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out and then put the new disk in, the SSD drive. And the SSD drive that I have, that Kingston SSD now, it's a SATA 3 drive, but these first generation XPX 15 systems don't have SATA 3, they have SATA 2. The L502X has SATA 3, but that's fine because it's backwards. These SATA drives are backwards. These SSD SATA drives are backwards compatible, so it'll just run it maybe 3 megabits instead of 3 gigabits instead of 6 gigabits, I believe it is. I'm probably saying it wrong. Let me see. Yeah, 6 gigabits. So this one will run it 3 gigabits for SATA 2, which is no big deal because I should notice some improvement regardless, and might be able to use this drive in another computer. So here's that drive. Okay. Right. And I'm gonna open this drive. And I've been debating getting an SSD drive. I have one in my my ThinkPad T61. It's just a 60 gig drive though, and I knew I wanted more than a 60 gig drive in here. So I was looking online, and this one was on sale for $99 plus a $20 mail-in rebate. So it's $79 basically, and it's 120 gigs, so twice the size of my other one. So that's a pretty good deal. And then I got some other drives to compensate for the space I'm losing getting rid of my 640 gig drive. Okay, so this is the drive. I don't know what, it has some tape on it. I'm not for sure what that's for yet, but that's the drive. And let's see, it's some kind of adhesive adapter, and it says the 2.5 millimeter adhesive adapter is designed for 7 millimeter drives that require installation in a standard 9.5 millimeter hard drive bay. I don't think I have that problem. I think this should be a 7. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. These two are the same thickness, so yeah. I won't be needing this, but I guess if you had a 9.5 millimeter bay, you would need this, but I don't have one of those. Okay. And it goes in just like that. Okay, so let me connect it to here with those screws I took out. So, like I said, I like ThinkPads the best, and I'll probably get another ThinkPad, but hopefully when I get all the drives put in here, and this laptop is already, that fell out. I don't know if these screws will fit. They should though. I'm going to be using this one for a while if I get it set up right. Okay, so these screws really don't fit this bay. And it didn't come with any screws either. So let's see. I can put them in there. I can put them in there, but they just go like just in and out. So let me see what I'm gonna do. don't think I have any extra screws. So, let's see. And this is the magic of recording something that you haven't attempted before. You get unexpected surprises. Now, let's see. I could put them in there, but I don't want them to fall out. They could fall out into the machine because there's a few openings, like right here, that get lost in the machine. I could, I guess, tape them in, which I might just do with electrical tape, I guess. I really would like to get some screws this size. I have no idea where I would get any from. Let me see something. I have a few hard drives that I've taken apart. Let me look at my stash and see that I have any other screws right quick. And let me make sure I'm putting the right screws back in here. First thing. Because this might be my fault, putting the wrong screws in there. Yeah. Let's see. I don't think. Okay, yes, I was putting the wrong screws in there. So I don't actually need these two that I put in there. And let me tell you what happened. See, that's why I always label my screws, and well, I only have a few screws to take out this time, so I won't label them, but I should, because what I see, what I did was these screws right here, I think they actually go in these holes right there. But what I did was, and these screws, these little chubby thick ones, go in here, I believe. And I just switched those around. So, oh, there goes the camera again, I'm hitting. So that's the lesson. I probably should always check. Make sure I'm putting the right screws in. I kind of got ahead of myself, yeah. These fit in perfectly. Cool. I thought that didn't make much sense. Now I know why. And now I'm making sure I have my other, I don't know. Now it seems I'm missing a screw. Oh, but I know where it's at, I think. It's in right here. Cool. Have all my screws now. And putting these in here. So, the hardest part has not been finding the right screws to fit in. Well, I guess that has been the hardest part, but not because the screws that were in here didn't fit, but because I didn't label them and things. and so that took the most time, me trying to put the wrong screws in here. So that tells me I should take time to label things. But I found them, so that's all that matters. Putting the last screw in. Doesn't want. There it is. Alright, so now we got that screw in. And then, you know what? I put it in the wrong way. I think. Well, no, I put it in the right way. Yeah, because it goes this way. Cool. Yeah. So now it's in there. So you just slide that forward. And now take the proper screws, these longer ones, and secure the drive. Secure this drive holder back to the machine chassis, whatever. Okay, and it's 4 screws. It's really easy. I actually put off getting the upgrading to the SSD just because I didn't want to take the laptop apart, but it's not that much to take apart just to put this on. I guess. Let me put this out. See, I didn't need this, but hey, you know what? I might put that in there. Actually, I think I might put that on there because that brings it up to like just the right size. Maybe. I don't know. I want to maybe put that on there because I'm like I don't have a 9.5mm base, but I guess I don't need to put it on there, but that fits on there perfectly. Maybe. I'm gonna see. Since I haven't put the whole thing totally back together. Put these screws right here. And I was thinking I could put it on there, I guess. Could put it on there. That'd be neat. Well, nothing fails but I try. So, take the adhesive off of it. Oh. I'm not supposed to take it completely off. Just peel this off. It's hard to get off. There it is. That part. Okay, and that part. I don't think I need it because actually, you know, it goes over here. It goes on here. I didn't even have to unscrew. It goes like that. And I'll put that on there just because. I don't think it'll hurt anything. So I didn't even have to undo it. I thought it attached to the bottom, but it attaches to the top of the drive. That's cool. It brings it up to like the exact height of this, so that's cool. So let me just screw these screws back in here that I didn't have to take out once again. then I can put the clip this face plate back in, and well, first I'm gonna put the little battery in there. Okay, got that one in, and let's see. Okay. Got this screw to put in. And I'm going to install, when I get this machine back together, I'm going to reinstall. I use Ubuntu, however you say it. I use that version, that Linux distribution. Haven't used Windows on here, well, basically ever, because once I got it from, it was custom ordered, and once I got it in, I took Windows off. That's the first thing I did. I'm just used to developing on Linux. So now I'm going to, I have a little air left in this can. I'm just going to spray down. If I really wanted to clean the fan out, I guess I could, you know, pull up. I might do that now. Spray it. See what's involved in here. Just since I've got it open right now. That screw wasn't in there very tight. It might be a screw on the bottom holding this in. If so, I'll leave it be. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, I have to flip it over. I don't really feel like doing that. But it's a screw holding it in under the bottom, I think. Maybe. So I'm just going to put these back in here, tighten that one up since it wasn't tightened, and be done for now. Alright, I need to see something. Yeah. Okay, so now, where did I put my battery? It's not good. Let's see. I'm definitely gonna have to go back to labeling things. I don't know where I put my battery. I should not be making videos. Okay. Oh. Here it is. There we go. So now, after that long, drawn out SSD hard drive install, I think I can just safely kind of click this back in place. close this, flip it back over, put that one screw there's one screw in here. If I can get it in. I think this is the, look at me, I think this is the screw, yeah. And let me tighten it up. Okay. And flip it back over. Check and make sure the keyboard's firmly in there. I think it is. If I got this, I might. You know, I don't know if I got. Oh, okay. Right in there. Quite good as I thought. I might have to take it back. Make sure it pops there. That popped in. So that popped in. My other camera just ran out. So it ran out just in time. I guess because I finished.